others maybe in Europe or elsewhere wondering why 2:30 in the morning that I'm currently awake doing a live stream. Well, that is because I'm sure the tweet is on screen right now. So right now happening in Brazil is Brazilian Big Brother, and that is basically their tent pole thing show, which gets the most views. I think as it was like 40, 50. I've got it on the screen right now. Of course, you won't see, but we'll get onto that in a second. There's two people cuddling. I don't know what's going on, but that's not the important thing. So the important thing here is that Amazon, according to this account who just checked into, and they do seem to be like a consistent and verifiable account, have said, and Amazon Prime Video Brazil have been hinting the whole day that unreleased footage will be dropping within this next hour. So from wherever you are, from either whether it's 2:30 or 9:30 or 6:30, between that and the next hour, new content from the Rings of Power will be dropping, and of course, it's on Brazilian TV. I'm sure maybe for some watching, you might not have Brazilian TV. Luckily, we have the streamers on in the background, and then once it comes to the point where either a interview or the new footage is dropped or shown during Big Brother, put that on. Just like we did for the teaser trailer, we will put it on screen for you, and everyone will be able to watch it. So whether you are in, I don't know, whether you can't access it because you're in the United States, Japan, India, wherever, we will, Carl, I believe, to the best of our abilities, we will have it on screen. It will probably get copyright claimed, the video. So again, if you do have super chats, we really appreciate the support, but you'd just be wasting money if you'd sending it to us today because YouTube will just take it all.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we've taken that so we can show it on screen.
Yeah, barring
And
barring any technical difficulties, we'll do our best to have it up here 100%.
yeah, and who knows, maybe once the actual trailer, once it's aired, you will get the clip itself released to Prime Video Brazil. But Kyle, there's also something else. As I mentioned earlier, this interview.
Mm.
Apparently tonight, if you want to maybe pull that tweet up, we are getting an interview.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, then, who in this cast speaks Portuguese?
Well,
So the
actually,
latest.
Jan in the chat just suggested. They said they have an interview as well. I bet it is with either Ismael Cruz Cordova or J. A. Bayona, and I think those are two very good guesses.
And some said it's just an interview. So apparently, the next hour is an interview alongside some unreleased footage. That is what we're getting. So we should be seeing some new content tonight. And of course, I'm sure someone said, Snow Leopard said a Brazilian here. I'm sure you're also going to be invested in who wins Big Brother or whatever. Yeah, excited for you guys.
Yeah, we'll have to do a
Um,
poll or something. See
yeah.
who we're voting for.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Um, uh, I think the first thing to talk about here is when it drops, will it be Portuguese dubbing? Will it be English? We don't know. We have no clue as to in what subtitles are going to be showing, whether they do English subtitles or not.
We'll hopefully
This
have
is
some
English.
cool visuals either way,
Yeah.
whether we can understand it or not.
Mm-hmm. So if there is, of course, so no matter what, I know people are asking about the English subtitle stuff. Once everything goes live, we'll try our hardest to find the English version and put it up for you guys on this stream and slash or relocate you guys to where you can find it. So
Yeah.
the aim is action plan for today. This gets dropped on Brazilian TV. We have the stream on privately for us. Once we see that they're about to either drop the interview or that new content from Lord of the Rings has dropped, we will put it on screen. We'll rewind it, or we'll rewind it back a bit, and then we will show it live on stream for you guys to see. Then, then if it's just then in just Portuguese with no English subtitles or dubbing, then what we will do, we'll go to the all the official YouTube accounts and try to find it, hopefully in English, and then we'll put it on screen for you guys. And if not, some Brazilians are in the chat and they'll have to basically translate what's gone
We'll do
on.
a live translation. That'll be fun.
We'll do a live translation. Yeah, I think yes, no, but yeah, it probably is. We'll have to see. Hopefully, once it's dropped on Brazilian TV, Lord of the Rings and Prime makes a tweet. Prime Video, like England, USA, India, Brazil, Canada, whatever. They will all release their own separate version. So that is the hope at the minute. So no matter where right now. Also, we are expecting a penguin who is going to be with us in a second as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what okay, the best thing of tonight is if we go and we get to see Celebrimbor in action.
Oh
So
man.
we've got 40 minutes currently and waiting for this thing to drop on this Brazilian. And trust me, if it does not drop, it's 2:30 a.m. here right now.
All
I'll
right.
be pretty pissed. I would be
Yeah,
pretty frustrated.
that would be something. I believe
And
a wild avian has joined us here.
but whilst Penguin does get set up, because of course we've had to, as excluded from me, we've had to get the people from America, of course, and that side of the world to come over due to time zones. But Kyle,
Mm.
firstly, let's get up that first picture of Theo because, of course, we haven't been able. We've been speaking about new content,
Mm-hmm.
and actually, in fact, we already have new content. We're talking
Theo's
about
up. Theo's up now.
Theo. So, first of all, that name, whether it stays Theo or not, we will see. But yeah, first, Theo, what is your opinions on the name?
I go back and forth with it. I've seen a lot of people make some really good comments about where the etymology might come from. Um, I don't know how accurate that will end up being ultimately. But the thought is there, and I think there's at least some thought on the part of the production, which is exciting. What are your thoughts?
Mm, um, for me, mainly with Theo, it will be interesting to see, of course, with the character. How, of course, because it is Bronwyn's son,
Mm-hmm.
but it's interesting for me. Why did they release it that day? Is that the start of maybe their marketing campaign? Slowly drop Theo and then the Bronwyn picture. Then a week later,
Mm.
now all of a sudden we're getting this drop on Brazilian Prime Video. Are we seeing the beginning of the marketing push by Amazon? And I think it's safe to say that because we do have a marketer here, Penguin. Would you like to add to that at all?
The timing of the release is a little bit interesting to me. You would think that the picture and the bit of information, it kind of seems like something you would drop alongside a bigger piece, the more interesting piece, just to kind of add context to it. Again, I market SaaS to IT and business professionals. I don't market media and entertainment to the general public. So it's a little bit of a different puzzle. But I would think that, you drop a trailer, you drop a big, interesting piece of content, and then you provide context to the diehards that eat everything up. So it just kind of seems a little disjointed.
Hmm. And for tonight, what's your ideal thing that you come out from this Brazilian show that we can see on screen right now?
I truly have no idea what to expect here. My instinct says that at this point, why would they would just release a new cut of footage or material that we've already seen before. But there's rumors that they're going to be revealing new stuff,
Yeah.
which seems a little surprising because you'd think that okay, Brazil seems to be a little bit of a smaller market, but again, Amazon's been kind of unpredictable with this entire marketing campaign.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm. And I think as some people are mentioning in the chat with who's on screen right now, Penguin, Theo, they're hoping it's Theo, I think. Theo,
Mm.
something like that. What's your opinions on that?
Oh, it. I don't think it seems like it's reminiscent of naming a ancient proto hobbit. I mean Harfoot, Eleanor Brandyfoot. It's Brandyfoot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Yeah,
Brandy
it
Buck. I
should.
think it's Brandy Buck. Just to be.
No, Brandy Buck is what is Mary. So
Oh, so they.
right,
Okay, yeah, that's right.
yeah, it's Brandyfoot.
Brandy
So it
Foot.
just seems kind of derivative. And hey, let's play on that emotional connection to hobbits by naming people who are in all ways should be unlike the hobbits that you've known. So if you're looking at the world of Tolkien and Middle Earth, hobbits go from having names like Eleanor Brandybuck to Deagle and Smeagol back to Tom Hardbottle or something like that. I don't know, it's just
Tom
so
Hardy.
yeah, something. Oh yeah, that didn't even make that connection. And so then you've got a name like Theo or Theo. Either way, it just seems like it's a little bit on the nose to drive a connection to that character from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which everyone loves. That good old King of the Horse Lords, Theoden.
Yeah.
But it all depends on how they pronounce it, and it could be a nickname for Theosalofis or something.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And currently we are 15-ish minutes in, so currently no trailer. Oh, not trailer, I shouldn't say trailer, get hopes up. Content drop. But yeah, we still got 45 minutes left to see, what happens there. I think they're currently voting on screen with considerable lady, and they're presenting it as well. So, I think.
Well, that presenter is easy on the eyes, so she's got that going.
They tend to like that kind of thing for TV, I think.
Yeah. There is something because no one wants to see ugly people on TV. I mean, right?
It's true.
Also,
I don't know what everyone's doing here right now, but here we are.
What are we all doing here? We should turn our cameras on.
That's right.
You ruined my transition. I was about to say, talking about ugly people on TV, we have a penguin face reveal. To say hi to the audience.
That's awesome.
Hello.
And we've done a bit of a hen there. That hello. I think for the audience here, for the viewers, what is your ideal content drop that you wish to see from Brazilian Big Brother? So we are currently waiting. We are 15 minutes into it, and we'd like to know,
I think we're
what do you guys hope to see?
Technically, just so we're all on the same page, I think this show technically starts in 1 minute. I think this is like a pre-show thing that they're doing right now.
Pre-show.
Yeah, that's my.
Oh God, how long are we staying up for?
No, I think the duration overall is still the same amount, but I think that's what's going on.
Hey, nice hat. That's the hat of my people.
That's right. It is too. Is this cultural appropriation going on right now?
I feel a little. Oh well, he's got a Texas sign on his shirt, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah. That's a win there, really.
I mean, it almost looks like he's wearing the hat backwards, but I mean, I'm not a country boy, and
maybe that's why it's not appropriation.
If you're doing it wrong, is it appropriation? I don't know the rules. Can't keep up.
But of course, a lot of people won't be able to see that stream we're seeing right now. But of course, when it does drop, we will have it. I know some people have been asking. Once it drops, whatever drops, we will have it on. We will have it on screen. Kyle the Wizard will do that. What about the second pre-show? I'm sure. Oh God, someone's just said you guys on the final episode is 2 hours. Oh.
Oh really?
Oh, we've got so now we've got 2 hours to sit
Didn't
through.
Didn't know that, but now we know.
Yep.
But Nick just said, I don't think they've heard of second pre-show, Jan. That's exactly right.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
We lost Penguin there.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back in a second. But I think the next person we have on screen, Kyle, would be Bronwyn. So of course, we got a random content release on, I think it was like 5:45 on a random Monday. Amazon drops these two pictures, and of course you have Bronwyn on screen. So far, while Carl sets up the cams again, Penguin, what are your thoughts on this Bondman? I think visually, from that, I don't think it looks that bad, to be honest. Whether story-wise how it goes, but it's not.
It's a
I,
very striking image. I really like that. The red cloak, the pose, it's just that's what a promotional poster should be. The
mm-hmm.
image of Theo, I guess I'm not too much of a fan. I guess personally, I look at that sword and I think that looks a little bit too over fantastical for me, but I mean, that's a matter of taste. But everything else looks, again, that looks professionally done. And I kind of wish we had stuff like that rather than the character posters.
I
Amazon Amazon has been so tight-lipped with everything that in the absence of real news, people make up their own news, and we turn into excuse me, I mean neurotic
Mm-hmm.
messes.
Mm-hmm.
Freudian slip there.
Yes.
sorry as well to Yanel. I think yeah, no, as well for your name. But I'm thinking around this. I think these photos was a step up from Vanity Fair, in my opinion. I think, of course, some of the Vanity Fair pictures were cool, but I think, yeah, some of course, with stills, it's always going to be hard. And I think, yeah, with Vanity Fair, they were posing a bit, for example, that Elrond one. I think that's going to go down as a bit of a iffy one. I think some of the Ismail ones, well, Aronde ones, seemed a bit, artificial, but it seems like with these photos, they seem like it's in scene, something is happening. Maybe that does bring the more authenticity back to the
Mm-hmm.
photo. If you think that's a possibility and why these might be a bit better.
Yeah, I think that contributes to it. I think these were probably part of that same photo session. It's probably the same photographer. It's just a better location. It's a better wardrobe. It looks more raw. It doesn't have the annoying Vanity Fair watermark on it.
No,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of kind of a lot of things going for it.
Mm-hmm. Also, what's it talking about? There's a transmission.
I don't
Do
know.
they?
I don't know what that
Does
means.
that mean something's going to come?
I
Transmission's
do not
currently
know.
happening.
I have no idea.
Let's
I'll look into that.
this is like a Super Bowl all over again.
Yep.
Only
Well,
some of us spoke Portuguese.
yeah, I'm sure some in chat will. Yeah. Oh yeah. One thing I will say, I think yeah, the Brazilian audience for Lord of the Rings, their fan base is really, really passionate and massive. Yeah, I know good friend the Terra Media BR account on Twitter as well. So yeah, uh, transmission. So we're currently looking at the stream. Um, is transmission, so anything could be happening during this transmission. Maybe something's going to come up. Or do you think it's where there's a transmission happening but we're not seeing it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, like,
it should be good now. I think.
oh god, it's begun now. They're in the house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Big brother
I
stuff.
gotta love, I gotta respect that guy for wearing that sparkly shirt.
Yeah, wow.
He's rocking it for sure.
Um,
You know
mm,
what? He's wearing it confidently, and I respect that.
of course, for the viewers at home, you're of course not going to be able to
Some
see.
of them, are
Um,
tuning in from Brazil. They're for sure watching this at the same
oh
time.
yeah, so, oh, some
Exactly.
Brazil, yeah, but of course for the wide audience. But
Mm-hmm.
also in a few minutes, what we could do now, actually, is could you get up those Christopher Tolkien, those three things, because we want to actually go over that again.
I can do
Because
that.
it has caused quite a stir, this weekend, hasn't it, Penguin? All this Christopher Tolkien stuff that we released.
Oh yes, it has.
And so, whether Amazon are going to listen to these rules or not, we'll have to see. I really think, as Tolkien Guy, too, by the way, was an excellent guest on the Second Age show last Sunday. What I would say for him is that the third one did sound like more of a request, like more than a rule or anything. But of course, yeah, Carl is currently getting up, so you'll see what
It's up.
we're on about. So I think with these rules, whether Amazon listens to them or not, we'll see. It was more from what we were told, from what I was told. Christopher Tolkien, he sent this off saying, if this is what you're going to be doing with the Second Age and with Tolkien's, well, of course, probably for him, his father's rights. This is what I expect. Whether Amazon, now Of course, after his sad passing, may he rest in peace. And after many, many years, respect that. We'll have to see. But it did seem clear. I think for the first two, he did seem clear. For example, Penguin, they can't kill off Kurdan. Would you kill off Kurdan?
I mean, I think he's an interesting idea that kind of exists on the edge of the stories, but I don't see him as being terribly important. But I mean, what kind of question is that? No, I wouldn't kill him off because
No, look.
this guy kind of needs to show up at the end of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. And I think the big thing that's the debates come out of this one is the third one, the repurposing of lines. So Christopher Tolkien has requested saying, I've not like people saying, oh yeah, he hasn't. We know he's at least watched some of the Fellowship of the Ring, and of course he's not watched. I don't think he's watched all three, but he just needs to. He said he just needs to watch. The first few minutes of the of Fellowship of the Ring, and you've got, of course, Galadriel saying Treebeard's lines straight off the bat. So even if we turned it off Fellowship of the Ring off after 5 minutes, his impression of lines being repurposed has already been set by that alone. So yeah, of course he was exposed to that. Whether later on in the trilogy, I think how you were saying beforehand, you thought maybe some of that was lazy by Peter Jackson. So but yeah, the repurposing of lines is an interesting thing that people are quite split on. So where does everybody fall on that with Christopher Tolkien's request, we'll say, for this one?
Well, I want to hear Kyle's thoughts on how that's lazy. Just kind of expand on that.
I would say
I
for
mean,
the
I kind of think I know where you're going with that, but
yeah,
I would just like to hear you expand on that.
I think for the most part it was done really well, but I think in other areas it was kind of like it was leaned on as a crutch in a way, and I can see that being a similar case here if it's not handled with care. It can't be a crutch. It has to be contextual. Um, it has to remain true to the spirit of what the dialogue was originally purposed for, and the person who sang it.
Hmm. Yeah, I kind of agree, and I think in many cases it worked within the movies, but it's still kind of jarring. An example that always jumps up in my head is when you've got Arwen telling Aragorn, "Oh, you are Isildur's heir, not Isildur himself," to reassure him that no, you're not a total screw up like your ancestor is. Whereas in the books, Aragorn says that line to Boromir as a way of downplaying his own accomplishments next to his heroic ancestor Isildur.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just lots of little moments like that, and that's where it's a little jarring to me, but I guess it works in the films. And I think generally they do a good job of it. Where they go off the rails is when they try to imitate that style, but they created the line themselves. Like in the Hobbit trilogy, and we can bash it because Hin is not here, so this is a safe space now.
Yeah.
When Gandalf says, "Oh, I find it's the little kindness each day that keeps the darkness at bay," and I say, "Really? That doesn't sound like anything Tolkien would say."
Yeah.
He'd say, "Absolutely, yeah, sure, war is terrible, but there's times you have to, nut up and go fight."
I think
In much more elegant terms.
yeah. No, I think that's a really perfect example, and I think that it's very easy to fall into that Hobbit trap, and I hope this show doesn't do that.
And Carl, do you think it'd be possible maybe if you could put a little poll up to see where people do align on this debate? And I think someone did mention earlier, Vanity Fair did hint at cleverly repurposed lines. So it'd be interesting to see, how that does end up. And another thing from um that video on Sunday was about the budget. I know people are going around saying 57 million. That's again just someone that's just seeing 465 million and dividing it by 8. Of course, it's a nice big figure, 57 million, but in reality, it would of course be a bit lower, more around the 45 million to 50 million range for each episode. Is more the realistic value. Maybe some might go high, maybe the last few episodes, but in actuality, On average, it is around 45 minutes, 50 minutes, and now we are about half an hour in, and we're just seeing some guy test out his t-shirt.
I
But,
really hope we're watching the right thing because I'm 100% not exactly sure if this is the correct stream, but I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay, wait,
This guy has a suit on, and is that a fanny pack underneath it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think so.
maybe for the Brazilians in the audience, if you are also seeing on your stream a guy in a sparkly jumper,
they're out
and
by
three
a
people
pool or something,
walking
you mean?
out, yeah, with if we're watching that stream, so please can you let us know if we are at
It's got to be, I think.
yeah,
It
looks
looks
yeah, there you go,
right.
BBB
Yeah,
2020.
yeah.
BBB 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Rukai said if we even get 2 seconds of Gilgalad, I'm gonna scream and shout and let it all out. Yeah, I think Gilgalad that'd be one. I think after Theo and Bronwyn was released, the universal opinion I seemed like in the responses was we want Celebrimbor.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe that is another person. People do one.
Yeah.
I don't think we will see him tonight. I think Amazon are still keeping because Celebrimbor seems to be the fan love character at the minute around all this.
What I love about the second age is how so many of these beloved characters are hardly characters in any real sense. Celebrimbor largely exists as a name who did a number of things.
Is due to their legacy.
Yeah.
Yes, and you've got in some cases he's maybe a couple of lines in Unfinished Tales, maybe a couple of others elsewhere, but that's not a character.
Right.
But but people are thinking, they got to do his character right. What is it? There's so much wiggle room, and it may not be what many of us want it to be, but hopefully it works within the context of the show.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a really good point because there's our opinion of Celebrimbor can be formed by so many outside factors. Like you have the video games, which kind of expand on that character more than anything else does. So it's really easy to be influenced by that kind of thing.
And I think one thing about
sexy Shelob, and that is another one.
Oh God, yeah, I don't even want to think about that.
And I think for another thing around Celebrimbor, I think that we can kind of release because of course I'm not sure until we of course get full confirmation. I think we can let it slip a little bit, but of course it's not confirmed and we still don't know entirely. But of course what we have heard is that Celebrimbor will also, Charles Edwards will also have short hair. He is another short haired elf. So from what we've been told is that when Celebrimbor was what's his face? Charles Edwards was Celebrimbor on set. His hair was cut down. Maybe that was to fill in the scenes when the ones Tom Budge would have done. So they're going to CGI the rest of that in. He's going to be CGI'd into scenes. So on set they don't really need his long hair, or whether Celebrimbor is aesthetically going to have short hair. We'll have to see, but yeah, I think what's everyone's thoughts of that? The craftsman, of course, of the great Mardine. And does it make sense for him to have short hair? Celebrimbor potentially, of course, not confirming this, but from what we have heard, of course, quite loosely, it looks like Celebrimbor might be having short hair. So, yeah, thoughts?
Well, people on the show certainly look excited right now. They're doing a hug jump.
They are
spinning a hug jump. Yes,
2 million
they're
votes
ecstatic for
a minute.
They're ecstatic for
a sparkle shirt.
Yeah, something's going
Yeah.
on.
So sorry. What were you? Oh, so Celebrimbor having short. I guess I will as a guy who studied history for 15 years, not the PhD candidate that Penn is in medieval history. Short hair makes sense for a number of reasons. It makes sense for medieval settings in general. I mean, if you're fighting people up close and personal, hair is just one more thing that you can grab. And so, it makes more sense for Legolas short, long, glorious, long locks that he has. Even Aragorn, et cetera, et cetera. So, myth, someone hanging around fire and really hot things, can get sweaty, that can get away. Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, does it still fit with how we've all come to imagine elves? Probably not. And we'll either get used to it or we won't. It'll be interesting to see if there's a backlash to it, and Amazon quietly decides to give all their elves long hair in season 2. There's countless examples of media doing that.
Or giving beards to dwarven women in season 2.
You know what? I'm still salty.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are.
And we are half an hour in now, confirmed, and so maybe maybe something at half time. If it's 1 hour, I forgot. I've remembered now. It's 2 hours, so you might have to stick here for an extra.
If we're 2 hours, we're gonna be waiting another 45 minutes before we see this thing.
Well, I can start Googling Lord of the Rings jokes past.
Yeah. Someone said out of topic and a little bit. Start, posting your questions in at the same time if you want to ask. Because you always wanted to ask, about leaks and stuff like that. Arthur in the show, no clue, heard of him. I don't think Arthur's even mentioned in the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit, so that's maybe a shame.
Is he mentioned?
I don't think so. I think yes, quite interesting. I might be wrong on that.
I mean, he charges early at the Battle of Daggerlad and gets his Mirkwood elves slaughtered or something.
Like 2/3 of the army gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that wouldn't be mentioned in the appendices because that's a little too much detail.
Yeah. Some said he might be in the appendices, so fair enough if he's in the appendices.
I mean, I can check right now.
Yeah, Carl will quickly do a fact check to see if Arthur is in. Because I remember Digital Talking Guide on Twitter saying that, so if it's wrong. Okay, so Leonardo has said, right now the participants are watching a mix of messages about the audience experience while BBB was happening. Okay. Okay, so we're going to be seeing that for a bit. Okay. Penguin, me not sure. Let's have a theological debate around this Amazon show.
There's
no mention
of Orpher in the
no mention of Orpher as well. Yep. So that's a shame. But
that is a shame.
Why has Amazon gone with the second age with so little source material?
I think that's because the stories are so epic. Like, you've got these big, huge visual pieces like the Forging of the Rings and the Drowning of Numenor and, the War of the Elves and Sauron and the Numenorian fleet and I think they're just really big plot points that they can navigate this story through and have really big TV moments.
Fair enough, but then because of that, I think at the same time I'm scared people don't get put off. That maybe in the first season, McPain have said themselves that it's going to be more the backstory characters going to be, starting with the heroes. Yep. So will this potentially put people off when they're seeing first 4 episodes, something most of it Tolkien hasn't written about, Could that be a problem that we might see, or will that resolve itself?
Sorry, audio cut out a little bit. I'm using my old computer, and it's a 2012 MacBook that in 2016 I updated the RAM and hard drive to 2015 standards, so you can imagine it's working pretty hard right now.
Okay.
Can you repeat that?
I'll repeat in a second. Let me just answer some questions. White Rose has said anything about Calabria? No, we haven't heard anything. Do you think episode 1, the prologue, will contain anything about Melkor? I don't think episode 1 is categorically a prologue because the Vanity Fair did say it starts off a narrative, but we might see flashbacks to Melkor, the Valar, Feanor. I doubt we'll see Feanor and stuff. The Silmarils. It seems a bit detached.
I feel like mentioning a Silmarils is just a little too much context.
Yeah. And
I'm all for the movie opening with flashbacks, kind of like the Two Towers and Return of the King did, that establish context to the internal arc of that individual's episode, or perhaps establish more backstory. But going into the Silmarils and all this other stuff, then have to go into a lot of time expanding what the Silmarils are and why they're significant. Because otherwise, people are like, wait, they fought this massive war over some shiny jewel.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
I mean, it doesn't even.
Something's happened. Something's happened on screen. And not the Lord of the Rings, but there's a massive celebration.
Oh, they're
So yeah, really
celebrating. They're
excited.
celebrating that we're going to see this new footage. for
Yeah,
sure.
you're gonna see.
Yes.
But yeah, just
Yeah,
further to Penguin's point there, yeah, especially now that we know that we're not seeing Galadriel cross the Helcaraxe, I don't see any real need to bring that story in.
Yeah.
Also, someone asked about the Golem game as well. Everyone's thoughts.
Press X to sneak. Press Y to mutter to yourself. Press A to eat fish.
Yep.
Press B to it just seems like scratching the bottle. I'm sure gameplay wise it can be good, but it just seems like, hey, let's cash in on the Lord of the Rings brand. Who can we make a? I know, Golem.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big gamer, but I'll give it a spin and see how it goes.
Now, you were talking about something interesting here. Why the Silmarillion, or excuse me, why the second Silmarillion? There's a couple of reasons for that. Well, with the show of, can you throw on a poll and see how many people would be enthusiastic about a remake or retread of Lord of the Rings, a long form streaming? And I bet the results are going to be middling. There's no real interest or demand in the general audience to redo the series that won all the awards, maybe like those movies did. So you can scratch off Lord of the Rings. Then I think because it's really hard to go into the remainder of the Third Age, Gondor, Rohan, just because those cultures are so iconic at this point. So let's scratch off most of the Arnor Wars, Agmar, Gondor, founding of Rohan, etc. Again. So then the options are the Second Age and Silmarillion. Both of those are kind of sparse, but I think the Second Age gives Amazon a greater degree of narrative. They can justify the changes that they're doing. And personally, I think the Silmarillion is really hard to create because it's an elf-centric story.
Yeah.
And elves are pretty alien to us. They live forever, and at the same time, they don't get bored with stuff the way we do. They can look at a tree, they can look at something and admire it for its own uniqueness and love it all the same, whereas we look at a tree and compare it to other trees. There's a whole different thought process that goes on, and it's difficult to create a show around those guys. I mean, if I was doing the Silmarillion, I'd start when men enter the age, enter the setting. So that's, I guess the first Great Tale is what, Beren and Luthien, right? Yeah, so that's where I would start and have flashbacks establishing context, stuff about Finrod, when people interact with Finrod, so forth. Maybe allude to Fingolfin is right against. I'd even treat that as that's what they believe happened rather than seeing. So in the end, you have a really complex set. Second, you've got a huge empire of men, and we can all look at human history and see human empires and how they oppress those around them. We can relate to the Numenorean fear. We can look at history and find those Numenorean style deaths. I mean, does Nazi Germany sound a bell or anything? So there's stuff that we can look to and relate to, and then combined with the freedom and maybe the estate said, okay, 500 million for the Silmarillion. They said, well, okay, how much for these notes on the Second Age? Oh, 200 million. Sold. Wait, you're serious? That's how I imagine those negotiations went. So that's my answer to the Second Age question.
And I think talking about rights and adaptation, I think Katie started in chat talking about War of the Rohirrim, where that lies as well. Like, will Silmarillion be better anime? I think that is an interesting developing question, and I think it's 11 past 3 for me. So I think again we'll give an update. So this we're expecting an interview of some sort. We expect some non-unforeseen footage, unreleased footage around the show that's meant to be coming out during Big Brother. Some they said they've bought a slot for millions of dollars and it's half time. We didn't realize first of all that Brazilian shows had halftime shows, but reality TV shows do now. And
Well,
second of
actually, now
all,
that I'm just gonna jump in there. Now that you say that, I have not noticed a single commercial pop up here so far. So a halftime show
yeah.
kind of does make sense now that I'm seeing the format.
Mm-hmm. Yep, maybe that's a possibility. And we realized this wouldn't be 2 hours. So we are currently expecting then, rather than probably the next half an hour, we are seeing um some new footage. We are of course refreshing Prime Video Brazil as Carl is showing on screen. Yep, that tweet. Do you want to go over the tweet again? Press translate tweet, please. And basically, can you read it out, Carl, actually? Because of course mine would be delay.
Yeah, and so this is a translation, just so everyone knows, by Google, not by me. Um, with the final scheduled for tonight, Big Brother Brazil 2022 surpassed the previous season in merchandising actions and raised 1 billion for Globo's coffers. For the grand finale, Amazon bought for millions one of the breaks to show unreleased content from The Lord of the Rings.
And can you press the profile of this account just for
Sure.
double check? Let's see. And uh, how much does that yeah, they do seem genuine. So it looks like we are just now waiting for the halftime show of this television show that everyone's watching. People say 40, 50 million people are watching this in Brazil.
Uh-huh.
Seems like a big thing. Of course, we've got also, we actually were seeing a few familiar friends in chat. Firstly, Tolkien Collector's Guide, Tolkien Guide. He says Tolkien with the penalties because the publisher won't let be out the Silmarillion. And also, Nerdring says halftime show for TV shows. That's crazy. Yes, but it does seem like with this Brazilian Big Brother, it looks like I feel like we're missing out on a lot of context right now, and it seems like a finale of a lifetime of something happening,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just waiting for some Lord of the Rings stuff to release. But yes, we are waiting for potentially an interview. If you want to get that tweet up again, if possible, Carl, and we are waiting for some unreleased content, and we were talking about this earlier, right at the start of the stream. So Biona makes sense. Spanish, maybe might speak Portuguese. Ismael Cruz Cordova, Ishmael actually Cruz Cordova, who actually's got a new role today in a new show. He's awake right now. That means he might be able to do it. But it seems like he is in America as of right now. So that we'll have to see around that. So whether the actual interview is in has English subtitles or not, we are yet to see. Kyle, have you seen any English subtitles from the stream so far?
Not a word of English so far.
Okay, so as again, I'll repeat the plan. So the plan is we've got the Brazilian stream up. This video is not getting monetized. Nothing's happening. So because of that, we are going to be putting. Once we see it happen, we're going to be putting the stream we're privately watching. We're going to put it on screen, and then once we see it happen, and then we'll all be able to see. For some who might not be able to view it from your country or not have access to it, then hopefully Amazon Prime Video or hopefully their marketing um team is actually hopefully releases it on the different Amazon Prime Video accounts. And oh look, like Snowden's got a little scoop. I heard Felipe fans was really crushing the Portuguese flashcards, so he's ready to translate. Uh, oui, j'ai bien. Okay, that's also
I studied Spanish in school and
yeah.
Portuguese. It's just bizarre to me because I feel like I recognize half of what's being said, and the half that I don't completely throws the rest off.
Mm.
Also, hello to Sean from the Prancing Ponies podcast. He's just cursing myself for learning Spanish instead of Portuguese, just exactly like what Penguin has just said right now. So, yeah, great to have you here as well. So, yeah, That is really interesting. So yes, we are all with
Oh,
you. We're up late. We're waiting to see, what comes out of this. So I think, this calls for um we'll talk about the show, of course, while we are refreshing Prime Video's page and also seeing this random host speak. So of course, if the show technically started at um 1:45, didn't it, or 2:45, didn't it, Carl? So
Yeah.
that means if it's a 2 hour show, the half-time show would be at 3:45. We're talking UK time, so we should then be potentially expecting it in the next about 26,
28 minutes.
25, yep, 28 minutes. So we're in the final half now. This is like Super Bowl. Please, Amazon, in the future, maybe give us an idea. Gracias, très bien, Sean.
oh,
I know that's really. Penguin, give the response.
just to go back to what I was talking about, the results came in. It was 60-40-ish, and not in favor of redoing Lord of the Rings, even on a stream format, which actually has shifted. A year ago, 2 years ago, it probably been 80-20 rather than 60-40. So there's a little bit of a shift, but overwhelming. But this is among people watching this are more diehard than the general audience. Wait, another remake? Even as they line up to watch it. So go figure. I mean, we just saw another Batman movie, the fourth or fifth Batman that we've in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
don't complain about remakes when you're lining up to go watch them.
then maybe a bit of a controversial thing here is like with the rights and how how it's working out with the Tolkien State and what's happening with Warner Brothers with adaptations we're seeing of Tolkien's works right now. We are seeing a Gollum game, and a pretty interesting maybe idea. We are also seeing a we're seeing the Rings of Power, which is of course the big flashy thing, and then we're also seeing the War of the Rohirrim. But the War of the Rohirrim. Oh wait, someone says commercials now. Kyle, are there commercials now? Oh, there's a woman singing.
Yeah, we're seeing
There
some
is a
kind
woman.
of.
There's a bit of a musical.
Okay, let's let that woman finish singing.
Yes. She's done singing now. They're doing a little bit of a cast.
Barbara.
Introductions: Barbara,
Yeah.
Bruna Gonçalves,
Douglas
Silva. That sounds Brazilian.
Yeah.
Slovenia.
I think there's a contestant.
Slovenia, is that Lakitia?
Yes.
That's why she couldn't make it.
Yeah, those.
And she told us she was asleep.
Yeah.
She lies.
Yeah, actually, Nerd of the Rings also interesting thing. But how about Lord of the Rings made as an animated series with some of the Peter Jackson cast returning?
I saw a few
Interesting
people
thing.
say that they would watch it in animated format if they were to do it. That's an interesting thought.
Would people prefer? Would people?
I'm not a fan of anime. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'll let you finish first, then I'll propose something.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm not a huge fan of anime, but I think that kind of that exaggerated style, really lends itself to larger than, especially the similar. So, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna adapt the similar, I think it could be a lot worse than. I think it's a better choice than live action because with mythology, you really don't want to see people bleed and sweat, whereas anime can convey that mythological, larger than life, magical focus without, losing my train of thought. But you guys, I think I made it.
And I think then, of course, Matt was talking about having maybe the Peter Jackson cast return for animated. I want to see for the live chat. Would you prefer to see, the Lord of the Rings remade through an animated or through anime version, or out of the two, would you prefer that, or would you prefer instead diving into whether, of course, with all the things with the rights resolved potentially, of course, the selling, of course, we'd have to get into that deeper. But if those rights did get sold, would you prefer to see a Silmarillion So essentially, an anime, of course, it would probably be centered around the three great tales, and of course, then expanding on the wider bit. I think how you'd actually put that into show. I think well, Corey Olsen, of course, Talk Professor, has spent a lot of time, I think, during the years trying to put this together. But yeah, would people prefer to see the Lord of the Rings redone anime, or instead have we dive into the Silmarillion and look at some of the great tales? And I think, yeah, maybe as of right now, as well, yeah, the Silmarillion is currently probably still suited not for the big screen. Is it the silver screen or is it the golden screen? I don't know what it's called. One of the two. So I will say, is it adverts right now? It looks like
Yeah, I'm
access for
keeping
members.
a very close eye
Yep,
on the screen right now
yep,
because there's commercials happening. So
yep. Okay, so there are commercials happening
Mm.
right now. So um, potentially something might be happening. So, Kai, if possible, can you put the volume? If actually, we'll actually no, actually, yeah, do
yeah,
that once it actually
I'll
starts.
do that. Yeah.
I'm wondering about the that we're watching because it's I've never seen any advertisements, TV commercials for luxury high-end supercars. They're showing off Lamborghinis. I mean, typically the audience for those vehicles is so small. You don't have to advertise. You don't advertise for it. It's not a Honda. Not everyone will up and say, my new car. I think it's going to be a Lamborghini. And now we've got skin rejuvenation,
Yeah,
cosmetic
but
treatments.
Leon,
Yeah, very interesting feed.
It's an
but
interesting
Leonardo,
mix.
who's our go-to Brazilian for today, he's saying commercial number one. So yeah, I think we can confirm that we are on commercials right now.
Yeah.
So we got garden law attorneys. Wouldn't we just be doing some free advertising if you just put these adverts on?
We
But
would
I'm
be doing
sure
some free illegal advertising if we put these
illegal
advertisements.
advertising,
Yes.
what we'd be doing.
Yeah.
So, of course, we don't care about copyright claims, but when it comes to copyright strikes, we want to
You have to be very careful.
just make sure. But yep, I'm sure for everyone watching, I'm sure, of course, people in probably either America or the rest of the world, of course, we shouldn't be probably watching this right now, but we can confirm that there are trailers happening right now. Um, so
Completely
Even the
hopefully,
unrelated
dog
though.
got braces. Nice.
yeah,
Braces.
the
Yeah. Very
dog got,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Unless should we commentate? I don't think people would be that interested in us
No.
commentating the trailers,
I don't.
but
I don't
Has
think
has
so.
any? It's like listening to a sporting event over the radio. Only
Yeah.
we all can imagine football match for you Europeans or a football match for the North Americans. But this is so devoid of any context whatsoever. It can be infuriating to listen. So I'm very tempted to do it. Little Brazil, the restaurant.
Yeah, I'm seeing some repeated advertisements going on here now, so I think we're probably gonna wrap up this commercial break pretty soon. We might have to wait for the next one.
It's
yeah,
a
it just
pretty long
makes
commercial break.
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe this is the lead. Okay, so you might not be saying it, but the thing that it makes sense if the next one is in 20 minutes from now. So we'll have to just carry on waiting and seeing. We're just seeing to a daughter witnessing their parents making out.
I'm really hoping this
What's
is
going on
not
here?
Bronwyn and Arondir.
Oh yeah, well, unless we're seeing Bonded and one day content right now. Um. Uh. So I think let's
It's
see what the chat is saying around. I think it's pretty split. Around. Oh, okay. People want us to commentate Big Brother. Also,
Oh.
Autodunia's in here. Hello, Autodunia. You do not want to hear Penguin narrating a reality TV show. Is all I'm going to say. But yeah, this isn't a bust because we haven't even made it to halfway through this show yet. Halfway through this show is in 15 minutes, so we're going to have to. Okay, looks like they're back. We're going to have to
This is a still
wait another
happening.
15 minutes.
They're definitely living the vida loca.
They sure are.
Okay.
That's a Ricky Martin for you younger people.
Okay.
We're back to
So
Big Brother
looks
now,
like
so.
we are back at Oh my god, Nerdwing said you should all show Big Brother footage muted while you each voice a character. Oh. Some guy is singing right
I
now.
was just gonna say, see, there's another musical guest on, so this is quite the halftime
Yeah.
show.
Mhm.
I wish I knew who these
Mhm.
artists were because I could pay some, some props to them.
Yeah.
But I don't know who they are.
Actually, it seems like Nosy Pocket does not want us to
That
narrate
is
the
some
Big Brother.
powerful. That woman has some powerful hair going.
Yes,
Hmm.
that
But
guy does not.
I see. I think
It looks like he's channeling James Brown or something.
I could see
yeah.
that.
But I think for the audience, let's try get let's stay yeah, away from Big Brother for a bit.
Sure.
They're making us stay up at 3:20
Yes.
in the morning.
I
So
I like
And
Nick Corbin's comment. We should just pretend Big Brother is about a bunch of hobbits who have to live the same.
I like that.
Mhm.
I like that. But there are
Yeah.
140 of you here right now. So like huge shout out to for joining us and
This late.
sticking with us for a while.
Yeah. Because I think we should be seeing in the next 15 minutes now, because we did not realize that this show is 2 hours long. So we're hitting an hour in around 15 minutes just for people, and just, of course, running through it. We'll show everything on screen as soon as we can. Carl's going to be the man for that.
Mhm.
So, but, Penguin, I think lots of people are, let's think around the show. What is the biggest thing do you think is going for it, and the biggest thing that's not going for it right now that you think which is being internally like being enforced by Amazon, maybe the creative team themselves?
I think the biggest thing that could potentially go for it is the slate, because you have a lot of freedom. I mean, about how many great shows in the past decade essentially started with a brief outline. You've got Breaking Bad, you've got The Sopranos. I mean, this could go on and on. These original shows that they didn't, weren't adapting a story, but they kind of said, let's start with a broad outline, fill it in. This is where you want these characters to go. Along the way, you decide, let's shift this person's journey a little bit. Stranger Things is another one. I think, of course, the first season, it's kind of slowly been slipping, but I think it's still definitely been watched. So, yeah, Amazon has that outline. Now, the biggest challenge they have is you have such a vague outline and not losing focus of what you want. They are following on the footsteps of a very, in the eyes of the general audience, a very beloved trilogy, followed by a generally liked to tolerated trilogy. So they think, okay, we're doing Middle Earth. We have to appease those people. Let's throw in hobbits. Let's throw in these things that they know instead of necessarily the setting to be its own thing. So again, you've got what freedom can give you and what you can do poorly with that freedom. That's what I see breaking this. It all comes down to
And I think around all this is whether the extent as to which they enforce this creative liberty due to of course maybe potentially the limited amount of rights, maybe the rights issue is still yet unsolved, but also for people who think we've just got random people to come up at this I'm just going again to Prime Video Brazil's official account. Carl, if you want to go through it maybe and show some of the things that yeah, they've said. They've also replied to Terra Media BR's account. Basically, they are hinting that something tonight during this Big Brother show is going to drop. They used the same font. They used everything. And actually, something we haven't done yet. We haven't played the trailer for this.
We can play that.
Yeah, not of course trailer, but so they released something which was pretty interesting, and I thought it was actually something. Well, they haven't right now, but they did earlier. And it was actually quite interesting to see what it was. Is this actually Tolkien? But the Rings of Power show. But then it turned out there was a phone in the background. So okay, fair enough. But let me know when to be quiet and it's on screen.
Yeah, it's on screen, so I can play it whenever.
Go for it.
So that's that. It's a
So,
teaser. So they're obviously teasing something. I don't think they'd waste time teasing something that has already been shown and made widely available. So they've made kind of a big deal about this.
and Penguin, more importantly, why is there a chameleon in a video, in that marketing video, just walking around?
You know, I'm not at liberty to say.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really have no symbolize. Oh, Sauron the sea symbolize any things, or it could just be a trop. They're doing something in Brazil.
Indeed. Oh, there's around Elon Musk. But I think another. Okay, we might as well, just go through. We might as well just go through everything tonight while Carl goes through all the official showings for what Amazon is releasing tonight. Around around a thing that we spoke about, and I think a lot recently is around time compression versus a time jump. Because what we've spoken about a lot recently is that with doing time compression, you lose the integral theme of the second age of okay, sorry, that is a gecko.
That's
My
right.
bad. Just a gecko. Sorry, that's a gecko. But
They don't have those kinds of things, and it's too cold.
Fair enough. But we lose the essential theme in the second age, which is the longevity of elven life and lifespan, and how this fuels the hatred in Numenor, which builds up over centuries, and then this results in the ban of the Valar being seen instead of a gift as hated, and then of course this fuels Pharazôn to attack the Undying Lands and being trapped under there forever. Yes, War Amazon, I think the thing we're going to start to see in this show, due to the loss of time compression, have to instead try and create that tension and hatred between the elves and men, that integral theme that has been removed. Is there a way you guys can translate that? I think people have already translated that, but oh
Yeah,
yeah, I think
I
some of
think it
that
just
was
says
translated there.
tonight, something about the end is the
No,
beginning of something
tonight
new.
the end is the beginning, is what it
Yep,
said.
that's
Tonight
what I
the end
just
is
said.
the beginning.
Yep,
Yeah. Sorry.
that's okay.
Okay, but yeah. Penguin, what do you think?
The you've got the the elves who are bound to the world, are unchanging, slowly and ever lessening world. It's the perspective of men who are mortal and will die and leave to ultimate fate unknown that's hidden from them. So, and then of course you've got the case of the Numenorians who longer live, and so I guess their reaction to normal men is, I completely understand. I mean, they are in a sense a superior race, and eventually that pride is going to, but they're also placed in the hard spot where they live within sight of paradise that's forever denied to them. So their slow descent, civilization descent, it's understandable and it's almost relatable. You know, you're right outside the gated that you can never access because it's closed off to you. Uh, but then you can take that timeline, dramatically compress it. You can show that how this has been built. Well, you can either try to compress that or you find a substitute. What could that substitute? I don't know. The elves took our jobs. Dear God, I hope they don't do something because that just seems fake. But in the
Yeah.
end, the compressing the timeline is it's like taking the story of Rome, the Roman Empire, and saying, you know what, let's just make the whole thing take place during the lifetime of Caesar. He's both the founder, he overthrows the Senate, he's the first and last empire, and we also have to show Carthaginian wars, barbarian incursions, rise of Christianity, all these other things that let's just make it all happen in this one guy's life and call it 10 to 15 years. I mean, how does that work?
Yeah.
And I just don't. It's going to be very interesting to see how Amazon tries to throw at. And they could compress some aspects of the world and allow and tell others in flashback or not.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that I'm most concerned about personally.
But Kyle,
Falls into the execution I said 10
mm,
minutes ago.
but Carl, isn't this maybe a compromise the showrunners JD Payne and Patrick McKay had to take? And also quickly, yeah, it's tonight. Stay tuned. It all starts at the final, and this is the final. So
Yes.
everything, whatever's got to do with Lord of the Rings, is starting at the final, and we are patiently waiting. But yeah, do you think this has been a compromise by JD Payne and Patrick McKay?
Yeah, I've said many times before that this is kind of the next best thing. If we're not going to get, a series starting at the beginning or in the middle of the second age, then the next best thing is to have everything kind of happen at once, so we get all those events. And it kind of goes back to Penguin's point earlier about how difficult it would be to write an elf centric show. So to start out with, the forging and then the War of the Elves and Sauron, and to not have Numenor come into that series at all would be really difficult. So yeah, time compression presents its own issues, but I think those issues are maybe with a strong writing team easier to resolve than trying to do a show completely around elves as kind of the main characters.
I mean, I think it could be done well, and you either have my ideal show centered upon the Akabeleth, everything goes with plenty of flashbacks and exposition. Think of that scene. I was there, strength of the film. Yeah. Well, instead of 30 seconds, you get 15 minutes of early second age and episode, and a lot of that's what. But that's operating off the assumption you have access to the totality of those little bits and pieces that his son found that was written on a napkin and was placed in History of Middle Earth 17. The bathroom habits of the elves. But what they're saying, well, we have access to the appendices, and apparently if something is mentioned in the appendices, they can draw greater. But if it doesn't exist in the appendices, but it exists elsewhere, it's off. If that understanding of the situation is correct. So I think in light of that, you kind of either have to compress the timeline or just exclusively focus on era. Doing the first era, the forging, so many people want to see, leaves open-ended, whereas the second era, which there's a whole lot of context and backstory missing. So if you do the second era, you almost have to cover the first era flashback as well, just compress everything so you can show as much as possible.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like I said, this is kind of the next best thing. I want to see all of these events on screen. So the fact that we're getting it in one series is better than I think getting half of them in one series.
And Penguin Dan
could be worse. We could be getting nothing.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but Dan Edwards said, I think to counter your point earlier, Penguin, yet nearly all TV shows that are dramas about Rome center around Julius Caesar and his immediately successors, and probably his immediate successors. Who does a show on the Carthage problem?
That's a good question. I was just drawing a comparison, dramatic timeline compression of Rome. When was it settled? Say 500 BC, give or take, to the fall of the Western Roman Empire was about 1,000 years later. And if we really want to get technical, to Eastern Rome, 1,500 or so, give or take. I think we need to take some to make that accurate. So in the end, we're still talking anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 years of history, dramatically.
And also, what's it called? Kyle, could you potentially pull up Fellowship of Fans' new tweet if possible?
You can just say my tweet. You don't have to talk about yourself.
No, the Fellowship of Fans' new tweet. I don't take.
Is that an English thing? The speaking
Must
of yourself in the third. Yeah.
Which tweet are you looking for?
Those old.
The most recent one, which I'm not. I am someone at that Prime Video at Fellowship Fans.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does the time compression mean that Finrod is alive? I certainly hope not.
Yeah, that's a good question. That is a fair question. We know Finrod is present, but I think we also know pretty well that shot of Tyrion where we think is Finrod is a flashback. So let's hope no.
Unless they choose to compress the trees to the time of the Forging of the Rings and the downfall of Numenor.
Yeah,
and that
I don't know about
that'll piss off some a couple dozen nerds who read all that material.
Yeah.
They're all here. We're all here, I think.
That's right.
Yes, I know. It's
all
nearly
140 of us, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's 4 a.m. for me here too, and also because it's 4 a.m. Carl, would you like to put up the new tweet?
It's up. Yeah.
Yep.
This is how we're all feeling right now.
Prime Video, please can release whatever you're releasing soon, because
time to go to bed.
Otherwise it's time to go to bed. To be honest, we've all got work, university, whatever in the morning. Penguin's got a family, has to get up, make sure that's working. So
it's only 9:45 for me. I'm fine.
Yeah. We're talking about us Europeans and rest of the world.
I'll just say Nosy Parker in the chat just said Finrod is in 8 episodes per IMDb, and that may be accurate. That may not be accurate. IMDb isn't always 100% up to date, but if it is, that there's certainly something to be said for that.
They said think we'll get it in the next 20 minutes. You should be getting it in the next few minutes technically, because isn't it half time during the show soon?
Well, there's another musical performance happening, so.
And I think this is probably live, so the musical performance is probably something by the cast.
Didn't the last break start with some music playing and then some ads?
Yes.
So
yeah, it did. So we should have another ad break at some point here.
Yeah, we should be getting new ads soon, so we're keeping you. And once the Lord of the Rings one does come up, we will put it up for you. So if Prime Video Brazil still have somehow made us all stay up this late for nothing, I'm sure. Let's go.
Oh, Bezos is probably laughing right now.
Oh, for sure.
Europeans are staying up in bed. Sleepy's rolling over on his, bed of money, or swimming through it Scrooge McDuck style.
Smog
again,
style.
And Nosy Pod said, and Adar is into. See, the IMDb is Amazon don't update it. Rarely I don't think is accurate.
There's also like a lot.
IMDb.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Please.
No, I was going to say that IMDb is generally by the fans after the fact, rather than marketing people during the film and production of it. So.
Oh wait, we're on ads. We're on ads.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep a close eye.
Tempero di Familia Segunda. I guess next. No. Oh, is she pouring rum all over that pineapple? Yeah.
Some kind of rum cake or something.
Said that they've been
cooking.
Awake at 6 a.m. there. Feel
Good
bad
Lord.
for you. I think someone said it's 5:44. Yeah. But yeah, we know there's a new break. We are waiting to see. Carl, if the Lord of the Rings one does come, maybe just pause there.
Yes, I got you. 100%.
If there isn't one now, oh my god, I'm going.
Yeah, it's gonna be aggressive. Waiting. This feels like waiting for the Super Bowl teaser all over again.
Yeah. We've got a Toyota ad.
Yep.
Yep. So that means we must be, getting up.
Looks
there.
like a local Toyota dealership, but that's okay.
Yeah, all the advertisements have highly geo.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
Toyota.
Deerfield Beach. Wait, this is a Florida strip. There was a Toyota dealership based out of Florida.
That's interesting.
A lot of things happen in Florida, apparently.
That's true.
Florida man, gotta watch out.
Yep, that's right.
He gets around.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all just here with you waiting for something to come, but instead we're looking at a jewelry shop.
Mm-hmm.
They're always fun, always fun. Yep, cool. Thank you for the jewelry.
Well, jewelry is I think it's a closer. It's one step closer. I think.
That
Right?
actually does look like Benjamin.
It's getting warmer.
Yeah.
Oh, exclusive.
Now, if we start seeing some rings, we'll get excited.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a ring there. There's a ring there.
Okay.
Well, it was with some earrings, and I'm not sure if
Oh,
maybe Sauron made some earrings. They're making a restaurant. One ear, 2 earrings to rule them all.
It's new content is going to be dropped. It's not necessarily whether it's a 15-second clip, a 30-second clip, a trailer.
Yeah.
We don't know. It's just new content that hasn't been revealed. Alongside an interview will be happening any moment now or in the next hour.
It could the next hour maybe.
So this is the set. This image here is the set where this interview is taking place, and they've tweeted, "You won't believe who's going to sit here in that armchair. Stay tuned for tonight's grand finale." So that's quite the teaser.
Oh my god. Oh, if it is actually one of those contestants, if it's one of the contestants sitting
Is it the Iron Throne? Is this really all about House of the Dragon? What the hell?
Imagine. They got them mixed up.
Ooh, another dentist.
Okay.
No, braces.
Alicia, don't worry. The moment we see it on our stream, we're gonna pause it. I'm gonna rewind back, and we're going to put it on stream for you.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if we, put the whole or everyone else's advertisements on, our thing's gonna get flagged, and the video's gonna get off YouTube. So yeah, we would have done that if that was possible. Braces place.
This braces place. Those are American phone numbers.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, it's Tonya Booty. I was there in the last one.
Yes.
This exact time. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, these
skin rejuvenation. Nice.
These ads feel like it's gonna be one of these things is not like the others kind of thing.
We are just waiting. What's this?
I have no idea.
Okay, no, it's just a different ad.
Nothing about that screamed Lord of the Rings.
No.
So.
Yeah.
Settle down, Fellowship. I know you're tired.
Tired. Oh, this is... What?
No, this looks like a telenovela.
Yeah. This is not terribly promising, I have to say.
The production qualities look pretty low. I was expecting more from that $600 budget.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
All those smiling women made me think of that Roberts and the guy Surratt. Another one I'm talking about.
No, but we're back to the show now, so.
Oh my god, we're back on the show.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're spending another hour on
I'm really curious to see how they're gonna segue into this Lord of the Rings ad.
Yeah. Oh my god. Someone said this might be the Galadriel actor. Nope, nothing has happened as of yet. Honestly, okay, of course we want, viewers, you want people to stay, but if this is going on for another hour and you're in Europe,
Yeah.
all I would say, mate, if you got work, okay, look, Tolkien is great. The works of the Lord of the Rings is incredible.
Yes.
We're so excited for the show. But if you do have work tomorrow, if you have to go to school, if you have to go to college, university, please make that your number one priority, because of course it will be. It looks like we are in the long haul for this tonight during this Big Brother thing.
No regrets.
Yep. No gets, but no Diora says, "Yep, thank you for telling us that there's nothing yet." Yep.
Great, good. I
Um.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I've been refreshing the
Okay,
the
so-
YouTube page as well, because I have, I can assume that they're going to post the same thing here.
Yeah, they have to.
Well, they don't have to, but they should.
Okay, so Tricia has said a member of the company who is marketing this event showed a Galadriel Funko Pop.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Would you, as a marketer yourself, Penguin, ever let something slip like that? As if he said, a Freudian slip?
No, but then again, the stuff that I'm marketing, you wouldn't be interesting to 99% of the people out there.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about IT security tools? No one really wants a fun that recognize it. So.
Tolkien Guide says, I'm feeling this will be after the finale of the show. I hope not. At the start with all the tweets, again, Carl, if you want to pull up the tweets, it did say halfway during the show that they would.
Yeah,
If it is starting to look like.
we do expect it to take place during the show. That's from everything we've been told, and that's public. That's seems to be the common narrative here.
That woman has quite a collection of cosmetics.
Yes, yeah, she loves her stuff.
Oh wait, I just realized.
I respect how her lipstick matches the color of her dress.
That is coordinated. That is more coordinated than I am. That's for sure.
I've also just realized that tweet from earlier did say how much Amazon loves the hashtag the Lord of the Rings. They didn't even do hashtag Lord of the Rings and Prime. So I'm starting to get worried now that maybe that interview is just a bit of bait. That is actually not something Rings of Power later. But we do know that is going to be exclusive content shown, which is Rings of Power related.
Yeah, well, they've got this YouTube video that we showed earlier uploaded, and it's clearly says the Lord of the Rings of Power. So there's something.
Yeah.
There's something.
Just wait for this thing to be in Portuguese, and we all just sit here and puzzle with it. And, hey, that looks good, but what does it mean?
Yeah, well, maybe that's for the best.
Also, for all the Brazilians in chat, so this does finish at. So it's 11:54 p.m. your time. So will it finish at 1 a.m. your time? It should be
12:45, I believe.
Oh yeah, or 2 a.m. or 12:45 a.m.
I'm hoping this guy falls down just for. I just want something interesting to happen on screen.
This is taking forever. So okay. I did not expect that we would be live this long. Yeah, we are just patiently waiting, just about the same with you. Actually, will Carl, if you play the Rings of the trailer, the teaser trailer, do you think that won't get taken down, right?
We should be okay to play it like. We should be able to play it once or twice.
Yeah, we can play it once or twice, and we can do a review of the trailer.
What else is out there? There's wonders in this world, beyond our wandering. I can feel it.
I have to admit,
So that is
the more I watch it, the more I like it. And Alicia in the chat said still gives me chills watching. And yeah, I do that last sequence, that last really quick cut sequence, it gives me chills, and it's cool. I like it.
No, I'm just gonna devolve into revert back to, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything.
Fair enough.
There's enough wet blankets about this production, so I'm just gonna.
what I would say is that I think for some people say they didn't really get the Middle Earth feel, and it's quite interesting. Maybe people might have said that if it was Howard Shaw's music over it, and I think for me, I think Penguin, I think a good point you do make about this first trailer is that it doesn't really build up too much, except for me just think about Meteor Man, who's this old man who's not caressing them, holding Eleanor Brandyfoot's
The
hand.
only thing this teaser teases is something that seems quite similar to Gandalf. The hand wearing those kind of dirty grayish rags, holding this presumably vomit. That's the only thing that's teased or set up. Everything else is just random dialogue juxtaposed against images that don't quite mesh well with music. This is all my personal.
I think then, but then you have to remember the context as to which this was released a Super Bowl. I don't think when showing it to the American or the wider average audience or people even at the event itself, seeing the intricacies of all those details that you correctly
I just
mentioned.
know that at the Super Bowl watch party I was at when I saw this, and I was with a bunch of people who, if you ask them, they'd all say, "Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings, I love this." Maybe it's been a decade since they've seen it, or some of them had read the books, but they're not diehards. And the reaction to the teaser was, well, whatever. This didn't really move the needle. So, by contrast, I think title reveal teaser is so much better done in so many ways. I mean, dialogue seemed to mesh with on the little hint when you speak of and water goes across the and you've got the forging imagery, and then it zooms out to the rings of power. It was so much better done in nearly every respect. I think yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if they had used that at the Super Bowl piece of what they did give us, I think the reaction would have been much more.
Maybe. I see a lot of people in the chat mentioning the shot of Numenor, and someone mentioned a little earlier that they felt this was something they'd never see in their lifetime, and that's something I definitely agree with. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of that.
No, Numenor looked great,
yeah.
And you see there's that statue in the harbor, and you see that. Oh look, it's the granddaddy of the Argonaut. Argonaut. Heard it both ways, usually from me.
Yeah, and I just think really, as I said before, this is I think someone's joined Chad hello, and also I think the main thing around this trailer is was given to the Super Bowl audience, having that. I don't think in reality, when you're trying to show off what you've done with the Second Age, you don't, show waste tens. I'm sorry, I don't say waste, but 10 seconds, of one day pulling that arrow that could have been, given to other moments or bits. But they gave the spectacle things, the Numenor shots, which was amazing. The Linden shot was beautiful. Even the wide shot, the people saying the view of Menor Tarm and background, all the dwarven stuff in that was really, really good as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the details in that were fantastic.
Yeah.
Credit. I expect the art direction, production and everything off the charts.
The shot of Linden, it's like this drone aerial shot coming into the cliff top. I think, we got like 0.5 seconds of that. I think the more we get of that, it'll be really cool.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, someone just said something that if this, where's the, it's this,
Hmm.
but no, basically it was saying that if moose antlers are not integral to the narrative, it's moose something.
Yeah. Well, I think we've heard that they're not. So, hate to burst your bubble there.
Well, I was thinking more of you know, Canadian and moose, all that stuff.
Yeah. I see enough of that in my day to day that I don't need to see it on Amazon Prime. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, someone's saying PPP/nerdering/TTT/FOF/MME/TCG. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people here together
Mm.
today. Well, we're all just, eagerly anticipating.
Mm-hmm.
We're currently watching, a bunch of Brazilians we haven't met in our lives. Of course, the Brazilian audience have,
I've also
No,
I've never watched Big Brother in my life, so this is a first for me as well.
As I said before, all I've known about Big Brother in the past, all I've seen in the past was when someone's also went onto the set and didn't
Mm-hmm.
wasn't allowed,
Yeah.
snuck on the set. But except for that, I know nothing else about Big Brother. But it does seem like we are almost getting there. Again, I'm sorry for the people in Europe, including myself, who are currently having to sit through this. Currently gone for. But we are in the final stretch, and again, this is Amazon Prime. This is the $465 million show. This is the big marketing push, the big Super Bowl ad. It wouldn't be surprising, I think, as Tolkien Guide mentioned earlier. Of course, the Amazon bit has to be at the end where most people are watching, probably at the finale moment around that, where there's probably peak audience and peak viewers.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet there's probably some Amazon marketing people probably watching this right now. Quite
We know Amazon are watching. We know they're watching.
yeah.
They have spies everywhere, birds,
Exactly.
beasts, etc. Bots.
Yeah. I think also I think let's just move on to something else while we wait.
Sure.
Who in the chat currently right now? Who do you think Sauron is in this Amazon show? No mention.
Should we do a
of Vanity
poll?
Fair.
Do you want to do a poll?
We can do it. Let's see who people say first,
Okay.
and then we
let's
do a poll.
let's list all 40 known actors.
See what the options are first.
As tracked, yeah. So who do you think is Sauron? We have heard nothing of him in Vanity Fair. We've had nothing of him in the see anything of him in the trailer itself. Of course, you could say maybe some of our leaks, but yeah, go for it. Is it Meteor Man? Is it Halbrand? I think some people maybe well, actually say maybe maybe is Farazan's young and up and coming person. Maybe Sauron is Sauron someone we haven't seen yet. Is Sauron a Dar, which of course highly unlikely. But who do people?
Who would want to be a dwarf? I mean, let's be honest.
Oh, shut! It's a good thing Viking's not here right now.
All right, that's why I can speak freely.
I suppose so.
People. What is this Theo is Sauron? That's a quite.
Theo is Sauron.
It's quite interesting.
Getting
That's a big nope for me.
They're going Lord of the Rings via the.
Okay. Meteor. Okay, a lot of people say Meteor Man. I just want to hear one thing. Everyone, be honest in chat. When we first released Meteor Man, how many people thought, this is probably not true? This is probably the first time, we're lying. We've got misinformation. Because I remember the first time we received Meteor Man information, we released that. There was a lot of outrage around him. So, oh wait. Oh my God! Another music. No, new music has started. They're dancing again for some reason, like maniacs. So that means
a lot of musical guests on this show.
And well, it's going back to Meteor Man. Internally, when we first read that from sources, we thought, "Oh no way, hell, this is so dumb."
Yep.
And we could go back further to when we first heard Isildur, and we didn't want to. Well, some of us didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
Fingers, guys in Israel, figure it out.
Yep. Again, for the third time now, there is. What if Meteor Man is Arendelle crashing the boat?
That's always been my theory.
Yeah.
People.
I think people said, "Is it the Man on the Moon?"
Yeah.
Did we go that far back? Is Amazon? People thought maybe Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
Frodo sang a song about the man in the moon, so
Yeah.
there must be.
I think Meteor Man is a Maya. I think he is a Maya. But yeah, as again I said before, we got these three lads, dancing away to some music.
Do we want to do a poll? Are we doing a poll?
We do a poll.
So who is Sauron? What are the options here?
Meteor Man, Halbrand, and
Theo?
then Adar will go for Adar, and
Theo.
let's see who else. Yeah, we'll put Theo in there. Why not?
Impersonating Galadriel. Just throw something in there out of.
Didn't you say it could be a drunk Rendell? Didn't you say that not drink driving, but
He's crashed Ving a lot.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be something.
Apparently we're going to adverts again. So for the third time tonight, we're going to be going to adverts.
The same ones we've already seen.
Yes, we are going to adverts again.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this one yet.
Yes, I have.
It's a restaurant. It's a Brazilian themed restaurant.
Yeah.
Little Brazil in Miami.
I know some people say none of the above. We'll have to.
Yeah, I don't have an option. You can only put 5 options at a time, or 4 options.
Ooh, we're seeing this lovely woman getting her makeup done for the third time this evening.
Yeah,
very nice stuff.
Well, I'm casting my vote for Theo. Let's go for the.
No, it's not Theo. It's Theo. That's how people like to pronounce Theo. Go home to.
I feel like that's what we're.
Yeah, okay. But also we got Digital Tolkien Project here. Hello, my friend as well. And I think it looks like everyone is just waiting on to see if Amazon are going to within this hour finally drop their apparently content that it hasn't been released so far.
Yeah.
Yep, we are on a card. Do you know what we should do? We should between next time we should have like a little ad break thing on screen, like the ads are now up. That would be pretty. Would be pretty.
Cool. Like a little countdown or something.
Wait, okay, Amazon. Wait, Amazon.
Why not just have the final countdown music video?
Yeah.
Wait.
Just on loop, so we'll always.
Oh, there's a video here.
Amazon Prime Video.
Há uma poderosa força que move nossos protagonistas. Uma busca, uma chance de reescrever a própria história, de renascer, sem precisar morrer.
Eles ouviram o chamado, cerraram as grades de suas prisões imaginárias, venceram seus medos e saíram para o mundo.
Mas não se engane, não acaba aqui. O lugar seguro está cada vez mais distante. E a linha entre o bem e o mal, mais turva.
Os tolos e pobres de espírito ficam pelo caminho. Os que chegam encontram no fim um novo começo. A redenção. Bem-vindo à nova lenda de Senhor dos Anéis. Os Anéis de Poder.
Existem maravilhas nesse mundo. Eu posso sentir.
Should we play that one again?
Why are you so scared to go viral?
Há uma poderosa força.
One sec. I'll turn the captions on. I don't know. There's some kind of pre-roll that goes into the parts of the teaser, but I don't know what it's all about.
We're getting up. We're getting up, guys. Don't worry. We're refreshing the Amazon channel.
No, we just played it. We've already played it.
Oh god. Yeah. Okay, I've not seen what's happened.
Yeah, we've already played it.
Yeah, I just heard the audio. I didn't hear the video.
Here.
Can someone put it in chat? Okay.
One second. Here. 1 second.
Yep. So, okay. What's everyone's first reactions in chat then? So apparently, who got interviewed?
No idea.
Who got interviewed?
No idea. Just some random people. They might be more significant in Brazil. I don't know who these people are though.
Can you describe the footage? Because I heard stuff that sounded quite intense and interesting.
Yeah.
Here.
Let's play it again for the audience. And
I'll play it again. I've just put it in the chat too there.
Há uma poderosa força que move nossos protagonistas. Uma busca, uma chance de reescrever a própria história, de renascer sem precisar morrer.
Eles ouviram o chamado, cerraram as grades de suas prisões imaginárias, venceram seus medos e saíram para o mundo.
Mas não se engane, não acaba aqui. O lugar seguro está cada vez mais distante. E a linha entre o bem e o mal mais turva.
Os tolos e pobres de espírito ficam pelo caminho. Os que chegam encontram no fim um novo começo. A redenção. Bem-vindo à nova lenda do Senhor dos Anéis. Os Anéis de Poder.
Existem maravilhas nesse mundo. Eu posso sentir.
So someone in the chat has said that these are Brazilian celebrities talking about how there will be a new Lord of the Rings show. So it's a bit of a pop culture thing going on. Interesting.
So, what have we just watched? I have no clue what's going on there.
It's like Kyle said. It's people talking about how there's going to be a Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah.
First thought, are these people I didn't recognize? Yeah,
I'm not sure who they are. If anyone in the chat knows who they are, please drop their names. But Ivan in the chat has said they are Brazilian celebrities, telling there will be some new Lord of the Rings show.
So we've stayed up until this late to watch.
Yeah.
A Brazilian guy told me something I've known.
The production was quite nice. That was really well shot.
There's an auto translate at 32. Go 32 seconds. Apparently, there's an auto translate.
What?
Auto translate.
No, I had auto translate on for the
Go to
subtitles.
32 seconds
Há
apparently.
uma poderosa força que move.
Os e pobres de espírito.
Oh yeah, no, we can't. Yeah, we're not gonna go to 32 seconds.
No, what's happened at 32
Nothing.
seconds?
We'll talk about it later. We can't do that on stream.
Oh god, oh no, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
What I've done. Okay,
It's okay.
So we were still promised stuff. That during the actual thing itself, it will be released. But I'm just saying, if we've stayed up, just that.
Well, I mean, it might be more significant to people in Brazil because I'm not sure who these people are, but the production value looked really nice. I hope they do maybe something like this that I can understand. That would be cool.
Yeah, the production value looked nice and looked sufficiently fantasy.
What?
That's why I was wondering, wait, who are these guys? I don't recognize these actors.
Yeah.
All looked over the casting sheets, headshots, even with makeup.
It looked cool.
And then you go into a room and like, that's an electric desk lamp. I mean, Numenor was advanced, but they weren't that advanced. And that's when I realized, okay, this guy's probably.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well.
You see it?
I've seen it.
You Fellowship? Did you go to 32 seconds?
No, I've just seen it live. Okay, okay. So Leonardo, are you here? So he's our resident Brazilian who translates Portuguese. So is there anything or any Brazilian fact, anything that in this video that is actually interesting?
Someone in the chat just said, "Yeah, this is a very localized marketing campaign, and that makes sense."
Okay, so was there anything interesting in it? Like hints, I think. Is there any hints? I'm guessing this isn't the only.
Someone in the chat is saying, couldn't they have included at least one new shot? You know what? Honestly, they probably have all of their approved footage for marketing already kind of locked in. They probably have dates all set in. I'm sure once we get a full trailer, we'll see a lot more.
So then, Carl, let's get back up that tweet again. That really first tweet about during there is going to be exclusive new footage. So I'm guessing this was it.
Yes, this would be it.
Okay, but so think for Brazilian fans right now, I'm really happy and excited that it's clear Amazon have done something during here which maybe appeals to that has cared about and appealed to a lot of the Brazilian audience. Have done something out of their way. So yeah, that is that is I think the main thing we can take out of this. Amazon have come out of their way to do that. Yeah, as Digital Talking Project has said, Amazon cares a lot about localization.
Which is cool. Like that's nice to see that, you know, they're going to go into local markets and tailor marketing to local people and get the word out about this show, right? I think that's a really cool way to do it.
Yeah, but of course I did wish that maybe this unreleased content may have been more specified, but
I think we were all hoping for that. But you know what? We learned together today. We all got to come together and chat and share our feelings, and that's always fun.
And we learned that maybe we would have been better off going to.
Yes. Yeah.
But again, for all the Brazilians out there who's been able to have this experience tonight, I'm hoping it really came off well, and that you guys are excited. For that. Yes, and I can see everyone in the comments. I know for the rest of us in the world, we have just stayed up for me. It's 4:18 right now.
Well, I'm glad we all stayed up together to do that. That's the nice part about it. But you know what? I think it shows. Sorry, go ahead.
I wasn't just making a joke. You go.
I was just gonna say quickly. I was just gonna say quickly. I think it shows our conviction as Tolkien fans to you know, to want to see everything that we can possibly see as soon as we can see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
I was just gonna jokingly say that some say the real teaser is the friends we made along the way.
That's right. Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so yeah, I think final thoughts. It's nice to see Amazon, you know, catering to different audiences, and the Brazilians have had their share tonight. So yeah, I hope your your Big Brother finale goes well and everything. I'm not sure who's going to win that. But I think for everyone who stuck with us until however o'clock in the morning, thank you. We really appreciate it. Of course, we're not going to clickbait and keep this stream up because, of course, technically no unreleased footage was shown. So we'll probably, of course, have to take that stream down. But thank you, everyone, for coming. We did discuss quite a lot. But yeah. So yeah, I think that's just about it. Of course, yeah, talking guys said they're definitely Portuguese Rings of Power Easter eggs in that video, and hopefully we can, you know,
uncover some of those. Yeah.
Being able to dive. Maybe it actually says look at the text over the fireplace at 13 seconds. Maybe have a look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope that's not a number. That's not another 31 second. It is 31 switched around is 13. So
I think it was 32.
32. Okay. 32,
over the fireplace.
Yeah.
The story.
Again, also thank you all to Dunya. Yep, time to sleep. As well. Yep, good night to everyone. We're quickly going to see. Again, thank you, Talking Guide, for being here tonight. Who has about 13 seconds. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that's all about.
I don't see anything there, but I could be.
I can't see it anyways right now. So yeah, well, we'll have to, you know, look at this. We'll have to go over again and see what Easter eggs / things are in here.
Yes, absolutely.
But we should do that tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So good night, everyone. Thank you, of course, Kyle Penguin, for coming on and doing this.
Anytime. Happy to be here.
Thanks for tolerating me. Nope. And the audience thinks Sauron is Meteor.
Yeah, that's our last little bit here. Is our poll ended with 64% for Meteor Man. So we will have to wait and see on that one.
Are we off air?
No. Are we going off air now?
Yeah, we're going off air. We're going
All right.
off air. We're going off air.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time.
Good night.